Property address 4143 North Ocean Boulevard. Owner, Gable Arms Condo Association, Inc. Case number BE 2204-0125. This case was first heard on 9/15/22 to comply by 3/14/23. One section complied at $100. Total fine $7,800. City is requesting to reduce the administrative cost of $1,275.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good
Building
morning.
Inspector Martinez.
I'm sorry, 1 second, Inspector. Everyone, please lower your voices. Everything is being recorded and is picking up on the mics, and we can't hear what's going on up here. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Building Inspector Martinez, representing the city. Case and others as read. The case is complied. The city is requesting just administration cost of $1,275. The fines were up to almost $8,000.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Press here. Hi, my name's Giuseppe Ferrioso.
Okay,
Joe.
Mr. Ferrioso, are you in agreement with the reduction to administrative costs?
I am grateful for the reduction. I just want to discuss the administration fee. The issue here was that I'm on the board of directors. As you know, it's a volunteer position, and we hired a management company, we hired the engineer, we hired the contractors to do all the paperwork on the day-to-day basis. As a matter of fact, as you see, I'm here, the management company is not here to represent me. So I'm pleading with the court to reduce the administration fees because we are only a 30-unit condominium, very small, very tight, limited budget, and that's basically 2 months of landscaping work for us, expenses. So if there's any way that we can reduce that administration fee, because we were not aware, first time the board of directors saw that there was a problem, an issue with the paperwork, was when it was plastered on the side of the wall at 4143 North Ocean Boulevard. We don't live there. If it was sent there, there would basically go nowhere. Most of the notification should have gone to property keepers. They never notified us. As a matter of fact, when I mentioned it to the president of the company, he said to me, well, what's the fine for? He didn't even know. And he had to call Mr. Martinez to find out what was happening. So I appreciate the reduction. We did the work. We did the work to make sure that the building complied. And that was our task. And that's what we got done. And we pushed as much as we could. But we figured that the engineer or the management company or somebody would be coming here and just do the paperwork to get the extension that was needed so we could have avoided this fine. If we were aware of that, we would have made the call and tried to, get the extension. I'm just asking for a reduction in the administration fee as well.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
Your Honor, we notified with plenty time. It's not the city's responsibility. The city states that the fines administration costs are imposed.
Okay, and the sign was posted on the building that was in violation.
Well, we always notify. We always do postings. I mean, this is not the city's responsibility to.
Well,
But did the notifications go to 4143 or did they go to property keepers?
Your Honor, this is a Massey hearing, so the idea of notice would have been well established and has already, it's not really, we're kind of past the time to argue on notice at a Massey hearing.
Okay, I think that the city's reduction to only cost is generous, and I'm going to grant the city's motion for costs only.
Thank you, Your Honor.
75?
Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 14, Senior Inspector Alejandro Del Rio. Property address 600 Southwest 9th Street, 1-5. Owner, Buy Rent Sell Now, LLC. Case number BE 2306-0046. This case was first heard on 4/18/24 to comply by 6/20/24. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $1,000.
Good morning, Building Inspector Del Rio for the city, updating case as read. Case is already complied. I'm going to let the respondent speak.
Okay, please state your name for the record. Okay, looks like the property was out of compliance for 20 days. Why is that?
We're waiting for, we had to pull a, we were converting from 8 units.
Can you turn on your mic?
No, you
Gotta
need to turn it on.
Just push, thank you.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay. We had purchased the property as an 8 unit, it's been an 8 unit for years. Then we came to realize there's supposed to be a 5 unit, so we had to kick out 3 tenants. And then we had to pull a permit to cap some sewer, I guess, not sewer, plumbing connections. And we were waiting for the permit to be finalized. Once we finalized the permit, we reached out to Inspector Del Rio to see if we can re-inspect then. By then, the fines had already started accruing because we were past the time that you guys gave us. But we were pushing to get it done as soon as possible because I knew that fines were going to start accruing.
Okay. City recommendation?
I'm going to leave it to the magistrate to make the decision.
Okay. I will reduce the fine to $600.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day.
Our next case is also on page 14, Senior Inspector Alexander Boris, property address 6201 Bay Club Drive, owner Bay Colony Club Condo, Inc., case number BE 2402-0159. This case was first heard on 4/18/24 to comply by 6/20/24. 2 sections not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $2,700, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, updating you on case number and address as read. As stated in the agenda, the case is not yet complied, and respondent is here to provide an additional update.
All right, please state your name for the record.
Good morning. I'm Nancy Lawville. I'm the president at Bay Colony Club. And I wasn't quite sure what I just heard.
It's not complied yet, the case. The case in general, yes.
Okay, so you're still in violation, and you need to tell me why you did not comply by the extension we gave you till June 20th.
If I may add, Your Honor, just to clarify our confusion, the property was cited for violation of City Ordinance 9-280C and City Ordinance 9-280D. There are balconies that are in disrepair. At the last hearing, the respondent requested an extension, but because there were some balconies that the engineer was requesting to be closed off, and they were not closed off at the time, there was a mandatory reappearance for today. The respondent is here today to provide the update. We have received an email from the LCAM manager stating that now the affected balconies have been closed off. So the city will not object to an extension here in today's hearing. I believe, based on our conversation with I'm not sure if you are aware of, but I've been in communication with the LCAM manager that's also here today. And the intent was that you all were going to request an extension. That doesn't mean that the case is complied. It's just an extension to get the necessary permits, make the necessary repairs, and come into compliance. You've complied with part of the request, which was close off the balconies as per the engineer's recommendations,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, I can actually talk about that. We did close off all the balconies. We locked them as well, and we marked each one. Then we had the engineer come back, open up each one, and do a spec of work for each one.
Okay, how much time are you asking for?
As much time as you can give us. Right now, they're doing the permits. They have the scope of work. I believe that they submitted the permits.
Okay, city have any objection to 91?
The city supports a 126-day extension and to stop the fines, and a mandatory reappearance at the November 21st hearing to provide an additional update.
Okay,
All right?
okay. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're welcome.
And wait, I did hear right, stop the fines for now?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
You'll make the whole place happy. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Our next case is on page 21, Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 3101 Northeast 47th Court.
What page?
Owner, 21.
Thank you.
Owner, Wilshire East Association, Inc. This case was first heard on 11/18/21 to comply by 12/30/21. One section complied at $100. Total accrued fines, $37,400. The city is requesting to reduce the administrative cost of $1,275.
Good morning, Your Honor. Building Inspector Martinez, representing the city. Case and others as read. Case is complied. The city is requesting administration cost of $1275.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
I'm Dave Rustino, and we agree with Mr. Martinez.
Perfect, thank you. Make my life easy.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 19, Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 1335 South Andrews Ave, owner FT 1335 LLC, SS 1335 LLC, case number BE 23090059. This case was first heard on 3/21/24 to comply by 5/2/24. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose fines of $7,600, which continues to accrue.
Building Inspector Martinez, representing the city. Case and others as read. Your Honor, the representative just turned in the report. Repairs are required on the electrical discipline. The city will request or will support 30 days extension for the representative or the owner of the building to provide a letter that by BORA or by Broward County Court of Appeals stating that the building is safe during the repairs while the repairs have been made in the building. We just requesting 30 days for them to provide that letter.
Okay.
Because the report is considered incomplete as now.
Okay, all right. Please state your name, sir.
Good morning, Jay Richardson. I'm the attorney on behalf of the owners. And I apologize. It was apparently they mistakenly thought that they had sent it in before, and they thought this was all about the permit that they actually have pulled a permit to correct the panel, and they're waiting on FP&L to do some stuff. But 30 days would be great.
Do you have the letter already?
I do not have the
Okay,
letter
all
that
right.
they requested. I spoke to the inspector. They were nice enough to tell me what I need to tell them to get, and I will have them get that. And like I said, we already have the permit issued, so hopefully in 30 days we can wrap all this up.
Your Honor, we would also support a stay of fines if the fines are currently occurring.
All right, 30 days, and I'll suspend the fines during that time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It doesn't matter. We're going to call the next one right up.
Our next case is on page 16, Inspector Preston Mark, property address 1430 Southwest 31st Court, owner Marina Mile 1429 LLC, case number BE 23040072. This case was first heard on 9/21/23 to comply by 11/2/23. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $11,150, which continues to accrue.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This case has not complied and the fines continue to accrue. The city is requesting that fines be imposed in the amount of $11,150. I will let the respondent address.
Okay, please state your name. Okay. All right.
Thanks. Enrique Lisker.
Okay, this case has been, was first heard in September of 2023. Why have you not renewed those permits?
The issue here has been, I contracted with a rental fence company, and they first applied for the first permit, and when I had the notice to renew the permit, I tried to contact them, but they have been, I don't know, sold to another company, which I was not able to be in contact with. I have been trying to renew this permit and to solve this issue. Just yesterday, I was able to contact the new fencing company to try to, for them to renew the permit. So I am going to be complying on this. It has been really hard for me to try to track this company down. I tried to renew the permit with another contractor, but they told me that since the fence is not theirs, they cannot renew the permit. Now here, what I'm trying to do is for them to either remove the fence and just finalize the issue, or try to renew the permit for me. And what I'm asking is to try to waive the fines.
Okay, okay.
And time to comply with this.
All right. Is he allowed to remove the fence?
Yes, he can remove the fence to comply.
Okay, all right. You know, you've let this go on a long time, and all these fines have accrued. Does the city have a problem with one more extension?
The city would prefer to have the fines imposed and give him the time to comply with this case and thereafter apply for amnesty.
Okay, do you understand that?
Because
you've let it go on so long. You know, at some point, I have no alternative but to impose fines, okay? However, we do have an amnesty program that once you put the property into compliance, you can apply for amnesty, and you know, that will enable you to lower the fines substantially.
Yeah, but what I was trying to explain, and I also spoke with Mark, is it has been like out of my hands. So if we could just give me an extension, if not 1 month, like 1 week, I just yesterday was able to contact the fencing company, either to remove it or...
This has been going on since September.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to impose the fines, but I would encourage you to get it done as quickly as possible, and then apply for the amnesty program once you've complied the property.
And could we get a reduction on the fines?
Pardon me?
Can I get a reduction on the fines?
No, right now, I'm imposing the fines. I'm not going to give a reduction because the property's still not in compliance. You know, I consider a reduction when people have been diligent and they have you know, complied the property, and I'm done with the case. But when it's been going on for almost a year and nothing's happened, it's just a renewal of a permit. You know, so I can't talk about a reduction of fines right now, but you do have avenues once you've complied the property.
Okay, so right now what I have to do is just renew the permit, and then what about the fines?
Yes, the day you renew the permit, give the inspector a call, and he will comply the property. He'll check that the permit's been renewed, he'll comply the property, and the fines will stop running.
Okay, the fines can stop running now?
No.
Until it's...
You have to comply. Yeah, you have to get the permit.
Yeah.
This is what we've been telling you for almost a year.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 20. Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 3051 Northeast 48th Street, owner Ridgeview Towers, Inc. This case was case number BE 21070128. This case was first heard on 11/18/21 to comply by 12/30/21. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $37,600, which continues to accrue.
Can someone please
Please
turn off?
silence your cell phone. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Building Inspector Martinez, representing the city. Case and address as read. I just received here in the hearing the letter requesting an extension with an active permit. I spoke to the representative, and she says that they just need about 91 days to comply to be able to submit a new report. So the city will agree to it.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Bailey Morris.
Okay, Ms. Morris, are you in agreement with the 91-day extension and a suspension of fines?
Yes, it's greatly appreciated.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next case is also on page 20. Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 3043 Harbor Drive, owner 1-on-1 Harbor Beach, Inc., case number BE 2107-0392. This case was first heard on 3/16/23 to comply by 4/27/23. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $26,400, which continues to accrue.
Building Inspector Martinez representing the city, case and others as read. There is an issue permit for the demolition of the entire property. I'm gonna let the representative speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Santiago Rodriguez.
Okay, can you tell me what the status is?
So we've had some hardships getting the project ongoing, including some weather delays and getting the demo contractor on board. We've actually been successful in getting that started. I have some pictures that I could show you regarding that. Most of the property has already started being demolished. We should be in compliance if we're allowed at least a 91-day extension, and we ask that the fines be suspended.
All right, any objection from the city?
The city's agreed to it.
Okay.
91 days.
days, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 15. Inspector Linda Holloway, property address 813 Southwest 4th Court, 1-4. Owner, Sailboat Bend Residences LLC, case number BE 220200074. This case was first heard on 6/16/22 to comply by 8/18/22. One section not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $22,650, which continues to accrue. There are 3 suspensions noted.
Good morning. Inspector Linda Holloway on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case BE 22020074, excuse me. Property address 813 Southwest 4th Court. As stated, the property is currently not in compliance. The owner is here to request an extension. The city does not oppose to a 180-day extension.
Okay.
Tony?
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Tony. My last name's Ortiz. You might have it on the record as Anthony Scott Ortiz.
Okay, Mr. Ortiz, are you in agreement with the 180-day extension?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and I will suspend the fines during that period.
I'd like to add, if I could, it's been a very, very painful process. Mrs. Holloway has been very, very kind and genuine. She's walked every step with me.
Yeah.
They have imposed a bond at the last minute. When I went to pay for the permit, they said I had to go pay a $7,000 bond, for which I don't have that money, especially in a late notice. When I did the work on the property, it was over a year ago. It was actually 14 months ago. And then the purpose of the bond is to secure the security, enhance the security, or make sure that the work
I don't think I have jurisdiction over the bonds.
Okay, I'm just letting you know
Yeah.
that's where we're at now.
All right, well, I suggest you talk with the city, but, you know, I have jurisdiction, only what they give me jurisdiction for, so.
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 3. This is a new business case. Inspector Andrew Gebbia, property address 333, what's it, 333? Yeah, Southwest 14th Way, case number BE 24040026. Owner, BC Capital Properties LLC. Notice posted at the property on 6/20/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard on 7/3/24.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Gebbia, Building Inspector for the City, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under 91D, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner. Demolition of structure. This case was opened on 4/3/2024. The inspection report was mailed on 4/3/2024, and the final on 5/7. Special magistrate notice was mailed out on 6/11/24. I arrived at the property. I observed the clear lot. The structure was demolished. The land was cleared, debris carted away, trees and shrubs as well. I checked the records for permits, and there were no permits on file for the work performed. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or $50 a day thereafter. I'll allow the respondent to speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Sure. Hans Ostermehmer.
Okay, are you in agreement to obtain the permit within 63 days or face a fine of $50 a day?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we are in the right position because we actually passed the SUR cap this week and we submitted all the requirements to get the permit on.
Okay.
So
all right,
it's
very good.
actually in review, so we are pretty sure that we
remember
are.
the permits going forward.
Yeah, I believe so. We got another company in the beginning, but they weren't able to get the permit on, and so we have to take over. So we started all the process from scratch. I'm building another property for Mr. Daniel Hall here, so I'm aware of the situation, and I'm on.
All right, sir, 63 days.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 17, Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 600 Southwest 27th Ave, owner Church of God Christian Center, Inc., case number BE 2308-0365. This case was first heard on 2/15/24 to comply by 3/28/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $11,100, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, Your Honor. Building Inspector Martinez representing the city. The case analysis as read. No report has been submitted. A case was opened on August 29 of 2023. I'm going to let the representative to speak.
Please state your name for the record, sir.
Daniel Boyd.
Okay, sir. Why do we have so much time taking for this report?
Well, we can't get anyone to come out and inspect. I called Mr. Martinez's office more than once or twice.
Do you have the report?
Report of what?
Can you explain to him what the report is he needs?
No one never came out. I got a handful of letters stating that we are in violation, but in violation of what?
The letters usually tell you.
There was never no inspection.
All right, could you explain
Okay,
to him,
the inspection, okay, this is a building recertification that you have to do to your building in order to comply with border rules. Okay, you have to hire an electrical engineer or an electrical structural engineer to make a report of the stage of your building. I mean, if the building is safe to continue the occupancy and if there are repairs to do. That's the report that the city been asking you. The case was opened on the 8th, 29 of 2023, and receiving all those letters, you haven't reached out if you didn't understand what we're requesting in there. I mean, I can understand.
But I don't understand either.
Well,
same thing.
Well,
I don't understand. We
Sir,
want to comply. We try to comply with everything you guys
no,
ask.
sir, I'm not seeing any trying to comply, because if you were trying to comply, you would have hired an engineer to produce a report to submit to the city. That's trying to comply.
Trying to comply is what they're asking for.
That is what we're asking for. What I just said, what he just said.
But no one never sent out anybody to inspect.
But
No,
it's,
No, the city doesn't inspect under this program. So
it's your responsibility.
it's the property owner's responsibility to hire an architect or an engineer. The private architect or engineer has to go and inspect the building for electrical and structural.
Okay,
That's on you. The city doesn't do any inspecting under this program.
okay,
You have to hire an architect or an engineer to do that.
okay. Well, right now I know.
That's, yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'll give you 21 days to get that report in and suspend the fines, but on that 22nd day, the fines are going to continue to run, and you've already run up 11,100 in fines, so.
Your Honor?
Yeah.
And I apologize. Unfortunately, you may recall, especially when Chief Oliva was here, we're under very strict time guidelines with regard to the county.
Oh, it's the 25-year, yes.
Yeah,
My
that
mistake.
audits all municipalities, particularly
mistake.
after the Surfside tragedy. So
Okay.
we unfortunately have to stick to the deadline. So we'd like the fines imposed that will continue to run. Once the report does come in, it's either complied, or if there's repairs that are identified that are needed, then we can give that additional time under the guidelines of the
Okay,
county.
so what's going to happen is you're going to hire an engineer, hopefully today. You're going to get the report to the city, and then once they receive the report, if there are things that need fixing on the report, then you will be given, what is it, 180 days?
Yes, ma'am.
You'll be given 180 days to get those done, okay?
Thank you.
And call the inspector if you have any other questions, but right now the fines are beginning to run.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 15. I'm sorry, Inspector Andrew Gebbia, property address. I'm sorry, can we lower our voices, please? He's not on page. One moment, please. I'm sorry, we're moving to page 5. This is a new business case. Inspector Andrew Gebbia, property address 2950 Southwest 17th Place, owner H&M Housing Land Development LLC, case number BE 2404-0001. Notice posted at the property on 6/17/24, posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard, 7/3/24.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under 9-1D, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits, in the following manner: fill and soil dumped and not leveled out. The case was opened on 4/1/2024. The inspection report was mailed on 4/2/2024, and the final notice was mailed on 5/7/2024, and the special magistrate notice on 6/11. When I arrived at the property, I noticed a cleared lot with dumped spread out higher than the surrounding elevation and not leveled off. I checked records for the permits, and I found that there were no permits on file for this work performed. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance, or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Okay.
I'll allow the respondent to speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Good morning. My name is Hani Levy. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but you need to turn on the mic because
Yeah, you just speak a little louder if you could.
It's on?
it's on.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, now I see
Hello,
it.
can you hear me?
Yes, now.
This case is one of the most uniquest cases that you're gonna ever heard. We are, we actually victim of a crime in here because we purchased a lot that is a landlocked. And when we purchased the lot, we didn't know the issue that we're going to face. We tried to pull all the permits from the city, and the city keep rejecting all our permit, and I have all the evidence
Okay,
right here.
but you went ahead and did work without a permit? Yeah.
So-
You have to get a permit. So they're asking for 63 days for you to come into compliance by getting the permit. Are you in agreement with that?
Yeah, we are in the process of getting the permits. We applied for the permits.
Okay.
The permits are on hold at the moment because we're trying to resolve the landlocked issue. So what we're doing at the moment, we're buying the next door property in order to make this land unlandlocked. So just yesterday, we received a reply from the bank that they allowing us to purchase the next door property. So all the permit in the city are on hold. We have all the design, everything with the engineer, but the city.
But did you submit a permit for this, for adding the fill to level the property? Did you submit a permit?
Yeah, we submit a permit. The permit is on hold at the city. I have it in here right now. I
Okay.
have it, but they wouldn't agree until we don't resolve the easement issue, which the easement issue right now, here, I have 2 permits at the city at the moment, and all the comments that we keep getting from the city is to resolve the easement issue.
Okay, give me 1 minute. Has the permit been submitted and is it on hold?
It is submitted and it is on hold, yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we will give you 63 days in order to clear this mess up. And if you have a problem and don't have the permit before the 63 days is up, please contact the inspector and request an extension, okay? But you should be able to resolve this within the next 63 days.
Hoping to God.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too.
Open to God.
Okay, but don't forget, because fines will begin to run after the 63 days, but you know, like set a calendar or whatever for, you know, before that to contact the inspector if your permit's not back yet, okay?
Yeah, we're in touch almost all the time, and there is no issue there. We really, they've been great to us, so.
Okay, so this hopefully will work for you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Our next case is on page 15. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 2680 Northwest 21st Court, owner Mabel J. McCoy, case number BE 2402-0077. This case was first heard on 4/18/24 to comply by 6/20/24. One section not complied at $1,000. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $27,000, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, Board. Jose Saragusti, Building Inspector for the city, presenting the case number as read. The case is not comply. I will let the respondent to speak.
Who is speaking on behalf of the property owner?
All of us.
Pardon me? All of us.
But I didn't hear what he said.
Okay, somebody state their name for the record who's going to speak first.
I'll speak first. Mabel McCoy.
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Mabel McCoy.
You got to talk into the mic.
Ms. McCoy, why haven't you obtained the certificate of occupancy yet?
He didn't tell me that she
He doesn't know what that is.
I know what it is, but nobody didn't tell me to go get that. We was working on other stuff at the house. Who told me to go get that?
Magistrate, sorry. Let me add that they applied for electrical permit yesterday, and the permit in this moment is in the city for replace panel and electrical issue. It will be no comply, but they are in the process to make something.
Okay, so they can't get the CO until...
No, but yes, the city will like to give them an extension, 60 days extension, and mandatory reappearance. 63 days. Yes, stop the fines.
All right, so you're going to go through the process, fix the electrical, and then they have to get the CO, correct?
It's already been fixed.
You need,
We hired a contractor last week. They already fixed it. So what are we waiting for?
Okay, well, I'm going to give you an extension.
Because, sir, you just
Okay.
applied for a permit yesterday, so the contractor, that's not the
Okay.
city, so that permit has to be issued
Okay,
and then inspected and then closed.
okay. Thank you.
let me explain something more. You need to have an engineer or an architect to produce the drawing from the property. And yes, and I already explained you, and you need to apply for a permit. If not, you will not have the certificate of occupancy. You need to hire an engineer or an architect and have the plans from the existing property. Yes, for your house.
So why does she have to hire an engineer for that, or architect? Why does she need that?
You need to have a professional.
What is professional about it? She's not running a living facility or nothing. She's not doing none of that, but what do you need that for?
We inspect the property a few days ago. There were 16 people living. You need to.
It's no 16 people living there. Stop exaggerating, it's not.
Stop. Talk while I'm talking. The issue of whether or not you are running an assisted living facility has already been heard. I can't rehear it right now.
Just stop.
So you're going to have to comply if you're going to have all these people living here. And I can't argue that anymore because that issue has already been decided. What I'm doing now is giving you the chance to comply the property so that you can run an assisted living facility if it complies. Okay? Yes. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next case is a new business case on page 11. Inspector Preston Mark, property address 1628 Northeast 7th Ave, owner Wesley R. Blanc, LLC, case number BE 231-00226. Notice posted at the property on 6/27/24, posted at 1 East Route Boulevard, 7/3/24.
Preston Mark, building inspector with the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2020-105.1. Work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: the installation of a shed at the back of the property, the replacement of windows and doors, installation of wire at the utility room and Florida room, the replacement of soffits, plumbing, shut-off valve for the plumbing for the shut-off valve and washer and washer, electrical for new panel, and the interior kitchen remodel. The case was opened 10/29/23. Inspection report mailed 11/8/23. Final notice 12/15/23, and special magistrate notice mailed 5/29/24. I visited the property to investigate the complaint as noted. During the inspection, I met with the plumber or tradesman, Joel, who was working in the utility room. He said that he was running some new lines for the washer. He also indicated that he did some work at the front of the house to install a new shut-off valve. I requested to see the permits, but none was on site. I left my business card and thereafter spoke with the owner, Mr. Wesley LeBlanc, who initially stated that he was not aware of work being done here, but after further discussions, he admitted that he had purchased the property and was in the process of remodeling it. I cited the property and posted a stop work order, and thereafter had several conversations with Mr. Blanc, who was very cooperative and responded to all my requests to bring the matter into compliance. At this time, the property records show that the permits are in process. Structural permit BLD GEN 2402050 is awaiting reply for comments. This is for the shed. The mechanical permit is pending. That's MEC GEN 2403043. The electrical permit is pending. Electrical ELC GEN 2403051. Plumbing permit is also pending. BLD GEN 2401029. And the master building alteration permit is BLD RALT 23120023. The respondent is here, and he would like to address.
Good morning. My name is Wesley Blanc.
Okay, and what's the city's recommendation?
The city is requesting the magistrate find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Okay, sir. Now, say your name again for the record.
Good morning. My name is Wesley Blanc.
All right. Are you in agreement to get the permits done within the next 63 days?
Yes, I am. I just had the engineer. They finally sent over all the documents. The GC just submitted it last night, so hopefully everything's
Okay.
good after that.
All right, sounds good. 63 days or $50 a day thereafter. Make sure you keep in touch with the inspector if you run into a problem.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Our next case is a new business case on page 2. Inspector Linda Holloway, property address 413 Southwest 3rd Ave, owner Water Taxi 18 LLC, case number BE 24050184. Notice posted at the property on 6/19/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 7324.
Good morning, Inspector Linda Holloway on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case BE 24050184, property address 413 Southwest 3rd Avenue. The property was inspected on May 29, 2024, and the following violation was observed as depicted in the photos. 8-91.C. The dock at this location is in disrepair. In this condition, it is found to be unsafe and in unsatisfactory condition. On May 30th, 2024, an inspection report was mailed to the owner on Broward County Property Appraiser's website. I've been in contact with staff from the company as well as the attorney for the company. The dock has been in disrepair for a while. Upon my last inspection, the deteriorated portions of the dock was removed. So at this point, the city is requesting an engineering report showing that the dock in its current condition is structurally sound, and we're allowing 28 days for that information to be provided to us. You may speak. Or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, sir, please state your name for the record. Yeah, there you go.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, Board. Inspector
Okay.
Holloway. My
All
name's
right.
Jacob Nunez on behalf of the property owner. I'm the attorney.
All right. Is your client in agreement to submit a report within 28 days?
Yes. We've had a structural engineer ready to go out there
Good.
this week. We're waiting on the report. We've been in constant communication with Inspector Holloway, and we're looking to understand that right now there's an open demolition permit for the dock, and we're looking to understand whether it'd be more prudent to remediate and or demolish the dock. We're not sure which one we're going to be doing yet. We're expecting that report by next week, and we'll stay in communication with the city. And
Okay, 28 days or $100 a day thereafter. Make sure if that you run into a problem, you keep in touch with the inspector.
yeah, we intend on, if we need to get a building permit to remediate, we would request an extension, but
Okay.
we'll be in contact.
All right,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Nunez.
Our next case is on page 23, Senior Inspector Alexander Albores. Property address 1400, 1400 Northeast 53rd Court, owner Martin Apartments LLC, case number BE 23030211. This case was first heard on 6/15/23 to comply by 7/20/23. One section not complied at $100. 3 suspensions are noted.
Alexander Albores, Building Inspector for the city, updating you on case number and address is read. The case is not complied, however, the owner has been addressing the issue. One of the main concerns we had with this case was the metal staircase that has been replaced and that permit has been closed off. There was another issue with the concrete restoration, but they do have a permit and it's at the final stages at this time. This morning I looked at the final completion letter from the engineer. So basically, it's just a matter of scheduling an inspection, and once, you know, the inspector has verified all the information with the permit records, that should complete that second permit, therefore the case being complied. So the city supports a 30-day extension to give them time to do that.
Okay. Sir, please state your name for the record. Mr. Steiger, you're in agreement with the 30-day extension
Yes,
to get the property?
absolutely. I have
sir?
the inspection scheduled for tomorrow.
Oh, perfect.
So,
Okay, so you should be
yeah.
good. All right, thank
Okay,
you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 15. It's a hearing to impose fines. Inspector Linda Holloway, property address 1408 Northeast 5th Court. Owner, Ajay Mehta Livable Trust, Ajay Mehta trustee. Case number BE 240300101. This property was cited on 3/18/24 to comply by 3/20/24. One section complied at $150. Appeal deadline was 4/2/24. No appeal received. City is requesting to impose fines of $500. There's also a neighbor here who would like to speak on
Is
that.
this a citation case?
Yes, the citation
Yes.
case.
Good morning. Inspector Linda Holloway on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case BE 24030101. Property address 1408 Northeast 5th Court. On May 18th, 2024, citation 1357 was posted at the property, allowing 48 hours to comply, violation 25-111.A. There is a breach of the terms and contracts on the permit in that the silt fence is missing and or falling down around the perimeter of this property. I spoke with the contractor, Ricardo, via cell phone and emailed pictures of the violation and citation that same day, March 18th. During that phone call, the contractor stated that the silt fence would be installed within 2 days. The violation remained upon my reinspection on March 21st, 2024, and the fines began to accrue. A reinspection on March 26th shows that the silt fence was not properly installed, thus fines continued to accrue. The violation was finally complied on March 28th. The city is requesting an imposition of $500 to be paid. I have the owner here. He's going to speak on the property, on the matter, and possibly request a reduction of fines.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
My name is Ajay Mehta.
Okay, sir, did you file an appeal in this matter?
No, I'm not in a position medically, so my contractor will, I request him to give you all the details, if is that okay with you?
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Sure.
Your Honor,
Sure.
if I may, not to cut you off. So I have an email from the contractor, Mr. Ricardo Diaz, on April 2nd, when I asked our admin staff to email him the link to pay the fine. He then replied, good morning, is there any way that I can appeal this charge? Regarding this matter, I never got any other feedback from him, and clearly there was no appeal applied for.
Okay.
And he'd exceeded
And
the 14 days at that point. That was on April 2nd.
That was on April 2nd, the day of the deadline.
No, the deadline before the fines were to begin.
No, I mean the deadline to file the
Oh,
appeal.
yeah, that was after the well, yeah, that was when he sent the email, but he never actually filed an appeal.
Okay. All right, sir, please state your name.
Nelson Ricardo Diaz.
Okay, was an appeal, did you file an appeal in this case on behalf of your client?
No, formally, I just submit the comments.
Yeah, unfortunately, the situation is that I don't have any discretion. The way the code is written, if you don't file an appeal, I can't hear the circumstances. I can only impose the fine. So I have no choice but to impose the fine of $500. Okay?
All right? If that's-
All right, thank
that's
you.
okay, I will pay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Did you say a neighbor?
Our next case is on page 7.
Say a neighbor wanted to speak.
We were neighbors, I represent the neighbor of the...
Okay.
Oh, okay, come
Come
on up.
forward, sorry.
Joe, I'm Ryan Wexler, may it please Your Honor, and I represent Joe Tremont. I'm going to give Joe Tremont position to speak on his behalf. There's a long paper trail of problems going on with the property that are directly impacting Mr. Tremont's property. He has been in touch with the city of Fort Lauderdale about this robustly. And at this point now, he's hitting a roadblock, which is why we are now here to make sure that this failure of compliance by the property owner can stop impacting his property.
Okay, sir, please state your name for the record.
Joseph Tremont.
Okay, what do you want to tell me, Mr. Tremont?
What I want to tell you is this has been going on for a long time, this problem. Okay, what they did was they raised their property up 2 feet high. So now all the water from his property is running off into the 2 neighbors. And I'm getting ready to build my building. I have a permit to put up a new construction, and all the water from his property is going to go into my ditch while I'm building. Also, by raising his property 2 feet, he removed the fence and put it all back up. His problem is not the fence. The problem is he raised his property up to get an elevation certificate, okay, because he's not allowed to go up that high. Now he's at 24'6" high because he came back and dug all that dirt out, and you're only allowed to go up 22 feet.
Your Honor.
So,
Your Honor, we're fully aware of the complaints by Mr. Tremont. We're not here to hear these complaints. He's already had responses made to him. You've already ruled in favor of the city regarding the citation. This case is for the citation. Again, the entire city staff is fully aware of the complaints, and he has responses. This is not a place for this to be heard.
Okay. Counsel, I'm sure you appreciate the fact that I can only rule on what's in front of me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to go on record, and we're glad that the city has gone on record as well.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse me. Our next case is a new business case on page 7. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti. Property address 3350 Davie Boulevard. Owner Davie Petroleum LLC. Case number BE 23110103. Notice posted at the property on 7/1/24. Posted at 1 East Route Boulevard, 7/3/24.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read, receiving the email regarding construction work without permit. The property was cited for under Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105, for work without permit. The case was opened on November 1st, 2023. Final notice was mailed on December 15, 2023, and second final notice was made on April 24, 2024. Notice of hearing posted on the property on July 1st, 2024. At this time, electrical permit submit. We are asking the magistrate to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $100 per day thereafter. I will let the respondent to speak.
Sir, please state your name for the record.
Mario Gomez.
Mr. Gomez, are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 63 days or face a fine of $100 a day?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Our next case is a hearing to impose fines on page 18. Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Property address 633 Northeast 9th Ave. Owner Parkside Villa 2 Condo Association, Inc. Case number BE 2308-0204. This case was first heard on 2/15/24, to comply by 3/28/24, one section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $11,100, which continues to accrue.
Building Inspector Martinez representing the city, case and address as read. This case just came into comply today. They submitted a report just a while ago with no repairs required. The city is requesting to impose administration cost of $12.75.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Valerie Patterson.
Okay, are you in agreement with the reduction from $11,100 to city cost of $1,275?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Who do I write a check out to?
You'll get an order in the mail, and it'll give you instructions.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 20. Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 2666 East Oakland Park Boulevard, case number BE 23010073, owner Aaron C. Gingales and Vito Strameglia. This case was first heard on 5/18/23 to comply by 6/29/23, one section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $38,400, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, Your Honor. Building Inspector Martinez representing the city, case and address as read. The case is not compliant. No report has been submitted. I'm just going to let the respondent to speak.
Please state your name for the record, sir.
Good morning, Special Magistrate. My name is Senard Alcius. Thank you for having us. Basically, there's really no excuse other than the fact that the owner assumed the tenant was going to do it, and I assumed the owner was going to do it. But when I became aware that it wasn't done, I reached out to an engineer company, Aspens, last week, and I've already made the payment. They've already came out, and we're just waiting for them to submit the report. We're just hoping that the fine can stop, because we are actively trying to fix this issue.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
The city, unfortunately, this is, we are mandated by BORA, and we cannot, we cannot agree to any extension. The case was open on 2023, and we've been sending several notifications. Unfortunately, the city won't support no extension. The only thing that I would recommend him is once he has the report, submit it right away to us. And so if no repairs are required, you can apply for a lien amnesty right away. I'm going to give you a card so you can contact the person that you have to provide the report to via email, or you got to submit it and let them know that the report has been submitted. Okay?
Yeah, I got the card earlier from you.
Victoria Brian?
Oh, no, I don't think
Okay, I'm going to give you that card now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you understand, I have to impose the fine. However, you can apply for amnesty. He's going to tell you how to do it, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
But you won't get amnesty until the property's in compliance, so
course.
make sure you get that done.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, at this time, the city is requesting a recess. Thank you.
Okay.
Going to resume the special magistrate hearing. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Our next case is on page 6, new business case, Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 715 Northwest 19th Terrace, owner Dwayne Williams, case number BE 24030184. Notice posted at the property on 6/1/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 7/3/24.
Inspector Saragusti, of behalf of the city presenting the case as read, I received this case from email regarding expired permit for installation of asphalt driveway. The property was sited for work without permit under Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.3.2.1. The case was opened on March 9, 2024. Final notice was mailed on May 3, 2024. Notice of hearing posted on the property July 21st, 2024. Until today, I didn't have any contact with the owner. We are asking the magistrate to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. I will let the respondent to speak.
Sir, please state your name for the record.
Dwayne Williams.
Okay, Mr. Williams, you're in agreement to bring the property into compliance by getting the permit within 63 days?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 19, Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 1470 North Dixie Highway, owner Wisteria Court Condo Association, Inc., case number BE 23030160. This case was first heard on 8/17/23, to comply by 9/28/23. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $11,200, which continues to accrue.
Inspector Martinez, representing the city, case analysis as read. Your Honor, the issue here, this property has an active concrete restoration permit. The issue here is that the extension expired, and they never submit a new letter from the engineer of record requesting the extension with the permit, the active permit. And that's why the city is bringing them over here and requesting to impose the fines. He can submit the letter later on. I already spoke to him. The case is not in compliance, so if he has something to add.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Dale Clappison.
Okay, you understand what you have to do now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, so the fines will continue to run, but once the property's in compliance, you get that report in, it'll close down, and then, there's always the amnesty program for the fines.
Understood.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you.
Thank you, sorry.
Our next case is on page 17, Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 815 Northwest 4th Ave, case number BE 23030001, owner Timothy Gutzmer. This case was first heard on 1/18/24, to comply by 4/18/24. Fine suspended as noted, one section not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $2,750, which continues to accrue.
Building Inspector Martinez, representing the city, case analysis as read. The case is not in compliance. The city is requesting to impose the fines. I'm going to let the representative speak.
Okay, sir, please state your name or whoever's going to speak.
Good morning, Your Honor. Timothy Gutzmer. Your Honor, we've been working at this, I think, is the shed and the fence. The shed has been, the fence has been approved with conditions, but we're going to take it down because engineering requested that we implement a system for our stormwater. So, and the fence is going to be in the way. So the fence is going to come down. We're going to pull that permit. Also, the shed, all they asked for was the elevation, but due to this being a new construction and everything is tied to the master, we can't eliminate one from the other. We have to implement everything at the same time. And so we're getting the drawings from the engineer in reference to that wall put in to submit so we can move forward on this.
Okay. City opposed to an additional extension?
No, Your Honor. This case has been long. I've been in contact with him. I even provide him the chief because all the permits are showing that they're waiting for corrections to be answered.
Sir, you provided me those numbers.
Let me speak.
Go ahead, knock yourself out.
That's the reason why, we keep going extension after extension after extension. And this case, if I'm from the top of my mind, it's been running for 2 years or maybe more.
If I may, sir, you provided me those numbers some time back, and to this day, no emails or phone calls were returned based on the numbers you gave me. We have to actually go in there to the reviewers ourselves and have individual conversations to find out what's taking place with it. So with that being said, this is how we know we can't eliminate the shed and this from master plan. They have to have everything in one time. Right now, we just implementing the laterals and all that stuff because it's new construction. So again, all they wanted was the elevation of the shed, which we have, but we cannot submit that by itself unless we submit everything they asked for at the same time. So if we were drawing this stuff ourselves, it would have been done. But we're waiting for the architect to get back to us, which they did. So it's just a matter of submitting all this stuff at the same time. And the fence is coming down to put us in compliance with that.
Okay, so when is it going to be submitted?
Well, we were hoping to submit yesterday, but we're collecting our stuff no later than this afternoon. Actually, just the plumber's product for the swale connection is all needed to put that whole package together. That's all we're waiting for.
Okay, and once they submit these permits, it'll be complied?
That's what I have no idea because, at the last hearing, it was this same thing that tomorrow we're going to receive it and tomorrow, and then we keep going extension after extension. So, we can try one more time, another 28 days.
Yeah.
But it's been too long already.
Yeah.
Well, so if you look at the reviews, you'll see that we submit. Engineering kicked us back to send us back to the architect.
The thing is, if you don't submit what they're asking you to, it's going to get kicked back.
Sir, if I may, we submit what they asked for. The stormwater is something new they asked for. So now we have to take that back to the architect. It was just a matter of the permits.
Okay, that's just on that particular permit. Okay, what about the rest?
We have the rest, but it's a master. We cannot submit everything together.
No. Every permit there is showing corrections.
Sir.
That needs to be answered.
Okay, all right. I don't want you arguing with my inspector,
I don't, but
please.
that's why we went into the review. What you're seeing is the emails, but we went into the reviewers ourselves.
Okay, you're going to get a 28-day extension. That's going to be the last one, and I'll suspend the fines during that time.
We'll take it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hopefully you get it done this time. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 15, Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 2314 East Sunrise Boulevard, Zone 2. Owner, Keystone, Florida Property Hold in care of Burdine's Tax Department. Case number BE 2306-0204. This case was first heard on 8/17/23. To comply by 10/19/23, fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $11,800, which continues to accrue.
Jose Saragusti, building inspector from the city, presenting the case number as read. The case is not complied. I will let the respondent to speak.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Tom Stevens.
This has been going on almost a year. Why isn't it complied yet?
Well, I believe they submitted the report. Is that correct?
I don't see that one. I talked with a manager, facilities, regarding that you are working in that, but I didn't receive it.
Okay. All right. So I'll make sure that you get the report. And then the other part is that they've done some test boring and some test pits. They just did more yesterday because the prior ones that were done earlier were inconclusive. and apparently there's no structural plans to be found for the building. So the only way that we can figure out how to correct the issues is they have to do the test boring, and then the engineers will have to develop a plan.
Okay, what are you asking me for?
I'm going to need an extension.
Okay, and how much time are you asking for?
Well, the last time you only could give me 63 days.
Okay,
If I can get more time, I have a feeling it may take more time than that to complete the work. Once we submit the report, it's normally a 180-day extension at that time. Is that correct?
When you submit the report, you have, and the permit is issued, you will have 6 months to resolve the problem.
Right.
But in this moment, the city will request 63 days, an extension,
Okay.
and mandatory reappearance.
Okay, thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
then that's fine with me.
Okay.
And then what we'll do is I'll make sure that we get that report to you quickly.
Okay.
all right.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, 63 days, we'll suspend the fines during that time.
Thank you so much.
No.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Our next case is on page 14, Senior Inspector Alessandro Boris, property address 1501 Southeast 15th Street, owner, the Island Club Condo Association, Inc., case number BE 2301-0100. This case was first heard on 7/20/23 to comply by 9/21/23. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $3,100, which continues to accrue. There are several extensions noted.
Alexander Labores, Building Inspector for the city, updating you on case number and address as read. A case is not complying. The property was cited for violation of City Ordinance 9-3098 for mechanical cooling tower in disrepair. We are here to follow up also on the progress. Mr. Barone is here to provide an update. Thank you, sir.
Hello, Your Magistrate. Chris Barone, President of the HOA Association. We have ongoing permits submitted. Some have been approved. We're waiting for final plumbing issues that we just found out. The cooling tower drain cannot go to where the old cooling tower went from 50 years ago. It's got to be plumbed into the sewer. So that's the last change on the plumbing drawings, is to have that cooling tower drain rerouted to a sewer outlet as opposed to into the canal. We live on the canal. We're asking for a 60-day extension to just finish those permits and start construction.
Okay,
The city does not object.
all right, 63 days, we'll suspend the fines.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Our next case is a new business case on page 5, Inspector Andrew Gebbia, property address, 4250 Gulf Ocean Drive, 10E, owner Craig L. Harreville, case number BE 2406-0039, notice posted at the property on 6/14/24, posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard, 7/3/24. Your Honor, I think we have, just to let you know, we have several neighbors who would like to speak on this property.
Good morning. My name is Inspector Andrew Gebbia, building for the City of Fort Lauderdale. This property was cited for violation under 9-259, which is the building is unfit for human habitation. And it was also cited for violation 9-276A, which is the owner shall not occupy, permit another to occupy, or let to another for occupancy any dwelling unit, or hotel or rooming unit that is not clean, sanitary, safe, and fit for human habitation. This case was opened on 6/7/2024. An IR was sent 6/10/2024, and it was scheduled for special magistrate on 6/12/2024. Due to the sensitivity of this case, I posted an unfit for human occupation sign on the door. As for this unit 10E is in serious disrepair, creating a hazard for the other occupants on that floor. And I should refer this to council, and after that, I'll let the respondent speak, and also there are members from the condo association, they would like to speak as well.
What's the relief you're seeking?
That's to be determined, because it's a sensitive case. I don't... The association, they're looking to
No, what are we asking for? What's the city asking for, Joe?
63 days and $50, 63 days, $50 a day and comply.
Okay. Sir, please state your name for the record.
My name is Anthony Watkins. This is Linwood Harrell, the owner of the property. I've been serving as a proxy for him while he was hospitalized in June 8th, and he's currently in a health and rehab facility, Wilk Manor's Health and Rehab Facility. So my first time ever going to his unit, I've known him for 30 years, but my first time ever going to his unit was maybe 2.5 weeks ago. And since then, I've reached out to a specialized cleaning service that can handle that called
Okay, so
Stereo.
is 63 days enough time for him to get this so that it's
Well,
habitable?
definitely clean by then, but there's gonna be a general contractor that has to come in after it's cleaned and an HVAC to have his AC back on. But having everything removed, now the general contractor, I can't give him a time because I'm not a general contractor. Once he sees it, what needs to be done, I know there's some remediation that has to be taken care of. Either it could be the cleaning service or the general contractor, who are both qualified to do the mold remediation that may be in there. And HVAC will be a separate issue. So unless I have to come back in 63 days, they haven't extended, or maybe before then. I'm not sure how long it takes.
Okay, well, I think definitely in order to reappear would be in order.
Right.
But let me hear from the neighbors and before I make my ruling.
All right. Did you want to hear from Mr. Harrell at all, or no?
Pardon me?
Did you want to hear from Mr. Harrell at all? No, because he's been in a rehab facility for his hip since June.
I'm absolutely okay if you want to tell me what you want to tell me, but
If anything you want to say, Craig, are you okay?
No, I just
Okay.
appreciate you telling me that.
okay. All right.
Hi, my name's Greg Pack. I'm on the board for Galt Towers. We're just trying to do this as quick as possible. It's been several months and everything, and now last month we had horrible smells that were out in the hallway, and the other residents couldn't live there. I mean, it was really bad. They had to go in, clean the refrigerator out, pull out a ton of trash, get hazmat suits to go in. There is no AC in the unit, so and he likes to open his outside door and his hallway door to let the air out. I've been spoken to him a couple of times about that, and so have security and lots of other people about all the moisture that gets into the hallways, and the floor gets super slick and fall down, that kind of thing. And he just doesn't seem to understand that he needs to keep doors closed and he needs to not put his bike in the hallway and all these different things. So we're really just trying to get this
Well, I can't do anything
done.
about the bike, but it seems to me that the most important thing is that this unit get cleaned.
Yes.
So that the neighbors are not having to deal with the smell and the
Right.
hazard that goes with it. 63 days seems like a long time to me to clean this unit. And
Part of it is cleaning, and then it actually has to be work that has to be done from a general contractor. So I'm not sure once one is done.
well, I don't have any violations in front of me today regarding anything that needs to be done in the unit. What I have is a decision as to whether this unit is habitable. And it seems to me it's really not habitable at this time, okay? So I'm going to...
Your Honor, I think there are more neighbors.
Also-
Speak.
I'll sit down then. Thank you very
Okay,
much for
all right. I
Also,
thought you
Your
were
Honor-
speaking for the group, sorry.
No, sorry. Good morning. My name is Joanne Scott. I'm a district manager for KW Property Management and Consulting. We are the professional management company that manages the association, the board of directors, and all common assets to the association, which is the conglomerate of all residents. The impact of this situation is impacting the neighboring units as well as the common area. So I have grave concern about a 63-day time limit. There's evidence of the potentiality of toxic mold. We do not have a functioning air conditioning system in there at this time. And I do want to let the city know that there is another pending matter that is of urgency that is in process with the actual court system and is with Judge Levinson, and we await an emergency hearing with regards to that. So as a result, the impact is quite severe. And I am greatly concerned about allowing 63 days to the unit owner to act. We have a contractor on the ready and ready to go in and do what needs to happen from a hazmat perspective if we are given the authority in a different court as opposed to the city. So I just wanted to put that on record, if that makes any difference or impact for you.
Okay, and your cause of action in front of the court right now is what?
There's an emergency hearing they're seeking injunction to be able to be given that permission to do that.
Okay, all right.
In the event that we do not, or we're not successful, there is grave concern about a 63-day time limit.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Your Honor, I agree that I think the 63 days is a lot of time, you know, to resolve this issue. I also want to add that, you know, are hoping that your hearing works out better, because sometimes you might have more leverage in mitigating this situation than the city has. So while we might have the unit owner in violation, I'm not sure that's going to solve the problem. Somebody needs to actually get their hands in there. I don't want anyone to blame the city for delays in permitting, because due to the extenuating circumstances, this should be mitigated immediately. Permitting can be, you know, applied for, but it doesn't need to be issued while this gets mitigated.
Yes, I understand we would be able to start work as an emergency
Correct.
situation, and the contractor's aware and has all of those pieces ready and prepared to do, and then we would go retroactive at the same time, simultaneously with the city.
Okay, I'm going to ask you how much time you think you need to get the hazmat people in to get it cleaned out.
I know the cleaning service is meeting with me on
Sir, you have to come up to the mic. Please, thank you.
There's a cleaning service, Sterry Clean, that specializes in his situation, that's meeting with me on Sunday. And based upon the video that I sent them, they gave me a few days that it would take, but actually what day they can start would be another situation. But they said based upon the video that I sent, it should be 2-3 days max with their workers. But again, I don't know when their starting date can be. But whatever time that you give, I can try to maybe expedite that once I speak to them, you know, knowing the circumstance, that it's, you know, there's some legal implications here.
Okay, you know, I'm like torn between 14 days or 21 days, and I feel like 14 days just may not be enough, but I'm going to give 14 days, but if you run into a problem, contact the inspector.
Okay.
Because it could be extended to 21 days, but that's it. Okay, so I don't know how we're going to write that order, but I really want to impress upon you that this is a hazardous situation for the neighbors. And so I think 14 days is a good enough time to get somebody in to, but if you have a problem, make sure you let us know.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
All right, and the order to reappear, I'm going on vacation, so that's a problem, reappearing in front of me.
Our next hearing's not until September 19th.
What?
Our next hearing's September 19th, but you're not on.
Okay, so,
September 19th.
September 19th, okay, all right. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I misread that. All right, so I'm going to ask you to reappear September 19th on my docket.
All right.
But hopefully it's complied by then, and then you may not have to come
Will
back.
he receive the notification the 19th, just to make sure?
Yes,
Because he
yes.
has to be signed out of his facility too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
okay.
14 days or what amount?
$50 a day thereafter.
For each violation?
Yes,
If I can get a card too.
okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time.
Pardon me, Your Honor, I just want to make sure that it is clear that the resident is not going to be allowed to resume occupancy at this time.
Well, if it's declared unfit, then he can't, you know, he can't.
So I just want to make that very, very clear
Nobody
that,
can be in there but
that
the
no one is
hazmat
to
team,
live.
correct?
What the hazmat team.
Because it was occupied until his unfortunate accident, so that's
Yeah.
why I'm just adding clarification on that since he was
Yes,
present.
yes.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, that's what we're going to have to do until it gets cleaned out.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Our next case is a new business case on page 9. Inspector Preston Mark, property address 600 Northeast 17th Way, case number BE 24010067. Owner Brian M. Scarrett.
9.
Notice posted at the property on 6/28/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard on 7/3/24.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 105.1. Work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to the installation of a pool without permits and fence, perimeter fence and wall replacement. Also, the installation of windows and doors, a new gas water heater, new concrete slab on both sides of the building, of the home, and also an interior model including bathrooms. The case was opened 1/12/24. Inspection report mailed 3/5/24. Final notice mailed 5/10/24, and special magistrate notice mailed 6/11/24. We visited the property to investigate the complaint of work being done without permits. During my inspection, I observed workers at the property excavating for a new pool at the rear of the property. Also, the perimeter fence was removed. I asked for permits, but none was available. Our records show that they had started permitting, but the permits were not yet issued. I issued a stop work order, and at that time, the permits were still requiring corrections. During further review of this case, I spoke with the owner, Brian Sherrick.
Sherrick, yep.
Yes, who indicated that he was in the process of hiring a contractor to get the permits pulled for the interior work. However, during one of my field visits, I observed that workers were at the property installing windows and doors. I spoke with Francisco, the installer, who, after checking with the contractor of record, indicated that the permits were not yet issued. As a result, I issued a stop work order and requested that they complete the first two doors that they had started. However, no further work should continue. While on site, I also observed that there were several other violations, including the concrete entryway that was installed on both sides of the house, the gas water heater, the interior remodel, and kitchen, which included the kitchen and bath. When I spoke with the owner about this, he indicated that he has hired a separate contractor to address these violations, which are currently in process and may have been done by the previous owner, I'm not sure, but the respondent is here to speak on behalf of.
City's requesting?
The city is requesting that the magistrate find the violation, that finds the violation exists, and grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Yes, Brian Sherrick.
Okay, Mr. Sherrick, are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 63 days or face a fine of $50 a day?
I would be fine with that, but quick question, because I don't know how this works exactly. When that day comes, if I've already applied for permits, because a few of these things have already been resolved and permits have been opened and so the work can continue, what happens on that last day if the work's not complete, but it's still in the process? Do I have to get another extension, or is it more of just the permits have been pulled and reviewed?
Yes, I will review the case as we go ahead, and if I see that the permits are in process and you would need additional time, I will grant that.
Okay, fantastic. I appreciate it. I
But
agree.
again, just for clarity,
Yep.
work can't continue without any permits.
Correct.
Being
Correct,
issued,
and it
being
hasn't.
issued, applied, you don't get credit for permits being applied for. Permits need to be issued.
Correct.
Yes,
Before-
and he doesn't have to have the work completed to put the
No.
property into compliance. He just has to have the permits issued.
Right, which I have actually been pulling some of these permits as a homeowner because I found out that these contractors are not showing up or not pulling the permits that I've let go. So that's why I'm
Alright.
kind of taking control of it now to make sure we're in compliance.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Our next case is on page 8, Inspector Preston Mark, property address 39 Northeast 16th Court, case number BE 2307-0189, owner Michael Aaron Linger, Christopher Dallas Weisenberger. Notice posted at the property on 6/27/24, posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard, 7324.
Which address was that? First one? Preston Mark, Bill Inspector for the city. Presenting case and address as read. The property was cited under violation FBC 2020-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to the change of an AC unit without permits. This case was opened 7/11/23. Inspection report mailed 10/16/23. Final notice 1/22/24 and special magistrate notice 5/8/24. We visited the property to investigate the complaint of work being done without permits. This case was originally addressed under a different owner. However, the current owner is here to address the court. The property underwent this change of ownership, and as a result, the owner has inherited this violation, which was not complied by the previous owner. I spoke with Michael, the owner, who indicated that he was unaware of the code case when he purchased the property, but is willing to get the permits to correct the violation. There was a pending application pulled by the previous owner, which is still open. This was for the change of the AC. It currently shows that this is awaiting the initial permit fee. I will allow the respondents to speak.
Was the city requesting?
Sorry, the city is requesting that the magistrate find the violation does exist and grant the property owner 62 days to come in compliance or $50 a day thereafter.
Okay, sir, please state your name for the record.
Michael Linger.
Are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 63 days or face a fine of $50 a day?
Yes, I just need to know exactly what is compliance. So the contractor that initiated the permit, or the previous owner who initiated the permit, I got the permit number. I talked to them finally today. They're looking at the serial number for the unit. So I'm just curious 100% like what needs to happen to finish this out.
So once he gets that permit issued, then I can comply the case.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, everything is.
Our next case is on page 11. Inspector Preston Mark, property address 2215 Northeast 19th Street. Owner, House of Dreams LLC, case number BE 23120148. Notice posted at the property on 6/27/24, posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard, 7324.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2020-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining required permits in the following manner, but not limited to outdoor kitchen and utility structure at the rear of the property. The case was opened 12/21/23. Inspection report mailed 12/21/23. Final notice 2/12/23. And yes.
Are there pictures?
Yes. And Special Magistrate Notice 5/28/24. I visited the property to investigate the complaint as noted. During an investigation, I observed that an outdoor kitchen and utility structure was built at the rear of the property. Our record showed no permit pulled for this work. I spoke with the owner, Esther Molina. She indicated that the work was part of the new construction of her home, which was supposed to be completed by the builder, Tino Gusti. At present, our records show that the following permits are in process for this work. Structural permit BLDGN 240300724 is awaiting reply from the client. Electrical permit EGN 240400187, also waiting permit fees. Plumbing permit BLDGN 240300405, awaiting permit fees. Structural permit BLDGN 240300727 is also awaiting permit fees. This would be for the pergola, sorry. So there's a structural permit for the kitchen and also a structural permit for the pergola. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or fine of $50 a day thereafter. The
Sir, please
respondent is
state-
here to speak.
I'm sorry. Please state your name.
Good morning, Sergio Rojas.
Okay, are you in agreement to take care of this within 63 days or face a fine of $50 a day?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 7, Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 3343 Northeast 40th Street. Owner Christopher T. Chen, case number BE 24030006. Notice posted at the property on 7/1/24, posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard, 7/3/24.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. I received an email regarding the seawall and dock in disrepair. The property was cited for building part deteriorated under City Ordinance Section 9-280B. The case was opened on March 1st, 2024. Inspection report was made on March 4, 2024. Final notice was mailed on March 4, 2024. Notice of hearing posted on the property on July 1st, 2024. At this time, there is a permit issue, and it doesn't have any inspection yet. We are asking the magistrate to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. I will let the respondent to speak.
Okay, sir, please state your name for the record. Okay, Mr. Chen, are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 63 days or face a fine of $50 a day?
Seawall and dock.
Okay, say. Okay,
I don't know how long it takes to construct an entire dock and seawall. See, a lot has happened since these pictures. I have some. So what happened was the next door neighbors here in December were constructing their own dock. I think you can see it there in the picture. And I think it was around Thanksgiving or December, they started constructing their own dock and seawall. And the company that they used was driving in the pilings and probably cracked my seawall. And I didn't notice until about mid to late December. You can see here my pavers caving in and my retaining wall cracked. And you can see the retaining wall cracked here.
yeah.
And then this happened. This was just before Christmas. And unfortunately, I did what Citizens Insurance Company told me to do, which is first time you notice any problems, to call Citizens, your insurance company. So I did. And that was around Christmas. And you know, I waited, and then I called back and forth. I must have called probably 30 times for Citizens to get back to me. And they kept giving me the runaround. They said, oh, you got to call this guy, then you got to call this guy. So I kept calling them. And but by the time it was getting worse, as you can see here.
Yes.
Before Office Inspector Saragusti came out. And so I was getting really nervous, and then I started calling and researching all the different construction seawall companies. And while I was waiting for Citizens to get back to me, you know, give me some guidance, and they didn't. So Eventually, I had narrowed it down to 3 different companies by the time Inspector Saragusti had come out and given me this notification. And within a week after the notification, I selected the company, and it's going to be like $250,000. And but it has deteriorated a lot since that time. You can see, here's a seawall crack. But since that time, you can see my entire seawall has collapsed. Between the time that I retained the construction company, and the permits were granted, which was, I believe the final permit was granted mid-June.
So when do they plan to begin construction?
Within a week after they gave me the final permit, we got the final permit, which was mid-June. They had already put up the temporary seawall, as you can see here. The temporary seawalls already went up for the
what I'm going to do is I'm going to grant the 63 days, but I'm going to give you an order to reappear on my September 19th docket so that you can give me a progress report. And if you need more time at that time, we'll work with you, okay?
Yeah, because you can see here, they have to redo the entire seawall. They've made quite a bit of progress.
It's a mess.
They've made quite a bit of progress coming across here. But, you know, most people tell me that it takes about a year to redo the whole thing.
Well, we'll try to work with you, but we're going to need progress reports from time to time, okay?
Even my neighbor who started their dock, they started it in November. It's getting closer, but they're still not done yet. It's July now, so. Yeah. But yeah, I think that,
it's unfortunate, but that's part of having waterfront property, you know?
Yeah. So,
okay.
All right, thank you. So maybe mid-September, is that what the?
Yes, you'll have an order to reappear. You'll get an order in the mail, and it'll tell you when you have to reappear before me, but I can tell you my September docket is on September 19th.
19, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. We had been in communication with Inspector Saragusti.
Yeah, keep in touch. Let him know what's
maybe I'll
going
just show
on.
him some more pictures so that he can.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Chen.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 16. Inspector Preston Mark, property address 101 Southeast 23rd Street, owner Bunkhouse Holdings LLC, case number BE 2302-0162. This case was first heard on 6/15/23. To comply by 8/17/23. Fine suspended as noted. One section complied at $50. Total approved fine, $6,250. City is requesting to reduce the administrative cost of $1,508.77.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This case has complied. The city is requesting that the administrative fees be imposed of $1,508.77. I will allow the respondents to speak.
Okay, sir, please state your name for the record.
Bruce Forbes.
Okay, Mr. Forbes, are you in agreement with the reduction to city costs of $1,508.77?
Well, my problem is this is one single property that's a duplex, and I've already paid administrative fees on this property. At the same time, my contractor was working on the property, not getting the proper permits. So now I'm being charged again on the same property for the same work that was going on all at the same time. You're treating it like 2 different properties when it's only one legal lot of a duplex. So I don't understand why I had 2 different building officials. Why didn't one building official take care of the duplex?
Your Honor, the answer is clear. They start working on, there is a building in the front and a building in the rear. They start doing work on the building in the rear when I was the other inspector that carried on with the case.
Okay.
And that's why, after that, they start doing work in the front. That's why another inspector visited the property, and that's why he has 2 cases, although it's the same property, but there are 2 buildings.
Okay.
That's the explanation for that.
But why didn't
2 separate folio numbers?
It is the same folio,
no.
But there are 2 buildings.
Okay.
Okay, they start working on this one. Okay, it's the rear property of that folio.
So it's a different violation for a different building?
Exactly.
And also requires separate permits, and those permits have now been issued.
Okay. All right, you understand?
No, it still doesn't make sense when it's one folio, it's one property. If there was other violations,
Okay,
it should have stayed.
But sometimes even there, you know, there could be a violation on a property one day, and then they'll check again some time down the road, and they'll find another violation. I mean, that
So
happens.
why not give it to the same officer instead of creating a whole separate case?
Well, I don't deal with the administrative stuff. That's not my responsibility. But I think reduction to administrative costs is in order, and I'm going to grant
Okay,
that.
I'll agree to that.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 23, Senior Inspector Alexander Boris, property address 200 South Birch Road, owner Leisure Beach Association, Inc., case number BE 2303-0194. This case was first heard on 5/18/23 to comply by 6/15/23. One section not complied at $100. There are 4 extensions noted.
Alexander Albores, Building Inspector for the city, updating your case number and address is read. This case is not yet complied. However, the owner's rep has been in communication, and they have been actively working on this major concrete restoration project. Also, the owner's representative is here to provide additional updates.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Good morning. My company is Emax Enterprises. My name is Rick Pitchman. I am the owner's representative and project manager for Leisure Beach Association, Inc.
Okay. How's it going, and how much time do you need to get it completed?
The job is going very well. The project is slightly more than 50% complete. We're anticipating the project to be completed March of 2025. I think the greatest extension you would be able to grant is 6 months, so I respectfully request to have that extension, and we'll be closer to full completion.
The city supports a 182-day extension, mandatory reappearance, January 16 hearing to provide additional update.
Okay. All right, it's so ordered. You have a 182-day extension, and you'll reappear on, actually, it won't be my docket, Magistrate Cannon's on January 16th.
9 a.m.
Yes.
Thank you.
You'll get an order in the mail.
Thank you very much to all. Wish you all a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you,
You
Alex.
too.
Our next case is on page 9, Inspector Preston Mark, property address 401 Northeast 14th Ave, owner DCL 401 LLC, case number BE 2312-0155. Notice posted at the property on 6/28/24, posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 7/3/24.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector of the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2020-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to the installation of windows and doors, AC units being replaced, bathroom and kitchen remodel without permits. The case was opened 12/21/23, inspection report mailed 12/22/23, final notice 2/6/24, and special magistrate notice mailed 5/8/24. We visited this property to investigate the complaint of work being done without permits, and during our inspection, we observed workers at the property installing a new AC unit and remodeling the kitchen and bath. I asked to see the permits, however, none was available. I also asked them to call the owner or their supervisor, but they said they did not have a phone number for that person. I posted a stop work order and asked them to leave the premises. I thereafter spoke with the owner, Rebecca, who indicated that she is working with a contractor to get the required permits pulled, and at present they're pending. The permit BLD GN 24030478 is currently in status awaiting corrections. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance, or if fine of $50 a day thereafter. I will allow the respondent to speak.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Benedetto Lauria.
Are you in a, oh,
Are you going to translate for me?
Yes, I'm going to
Interpreter.
translate in Italian for the
Okay.
gentleman.
Raise your right hand.
Both of us?
Do you swear and affirm to translate from Italian to English and from English to Italian?
Sì. Yes. Allora, deve spiegare che è successo.
Sì, vorrei dire che stavamo facendo dei lavori con mia moglie, solitamente non abbiamo chiesto il permesso alla City perché viviamo qui da 2 anni e purtroppo ci siamo fermati perché abbiamo ricevuto stop work order durante i lavori che stavamo facendo.
Okay. He explained that he was doing the work with his wife, that he's just recently here the last 2 years from Italy, and he received the stop work order, which he respected that stop work order and retained a contractor.
okay, all right. Is he in agreement to get the permits within the next 63 days and make sure he knows he would face a fine of $50 a day thereafter?
Sì,
Stai a posto?
sì, volevo dire pure che durante lo stop work order abbiamo preso un contrattore e un ingegnere che dovevano sbrigare i permessi, però purtroppo il general contractor non aveva la licenza apparentemente e non aveva presentato i permessi. Noi abbiamo pagato $9.000, però il permesso non è stato presentato ancora, quindi speriamo di risolvere con il general contractor.
He's saying that he has retained a contractor and an architect. He's already invested $9,000. Unfortunately, he's running into delays or they're not coming through. So he's doing the best he can. Devo chiuso ai tempo?
Make sure he understands, he just has to get the permitting done.
Yeah.
Actually, Your Honor, I did speak with his wife, and there is a concern that the contractor's license might have been revoked. So I will support giving them extra time to either find another contractor or you know, have this issue resolved with the contractor. So I will support 91 days for them to comply, and then $50 a day thereafter.
Sì, volevo ringraziarvi per l'estensione, grazie all'ispettore, grazie.
I think I understood
Joe.
part of that.
Grazie
He
mille.
wants to say thank you, and he says my Italian was
Okay.
pretty good.
All right. Grazie to both of you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 7. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 4500 North Federal Highway, owner Edcar Investments, Inc., case number BE 2402-0178. Notice posted at the property on 6/26/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 7/3/24.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city presenting the case as read, I received this case from an email regarding partition work without permit, partition wall demolished, and new partition wall built, and electrical works done without permit. The property was cited for work without permit under Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1. The case was opened in February 26, 2024. Inspection report was made on March 29 and 29, 2024. Final notice was made on April 30, 2024. Notice of hearing was made on June 26, 2024. I've been in contact with the architect for this violation, and he's in the process to have the document ready. We are asking the magistrate that define that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Okay.
I will let the respondent speak.
Okay, sir, please state your name for the record.
Edmund Chin.
Okay, are you in agreement to get the permits squared away within the next
Yes, Your
63
Honor.
days? Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Thanks for your cooperation.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 6, Inspector Preston Mark, property address. One moment, please. 849. Thank you. Our next case is on page 9, property address 846 Southwest 10th Street, owner George E. and Sandra L. Massey, case number BE 23120055, notice posted at the property on 6/25/24, posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard, 7324.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2020-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to interior remodel, new kitchen cabinets, sink, and faucet. The case was opened 12/7/23. Inspection report mailed 1/29/24. Final notice 3/1/24, and special magistrate notice mailed 5/8/24. I visited the property to investigate a complaint of work being done without a permit. I spoke with the tenant, who indicated that she was unaware of any work being done, but gave me the number of the owner. Incidentally, the owner, Mr. George Massey, is also the tenant's brother. I thereafter met with Mr. Massey, who provided us access to inspect the property. During my inspection, I observed that the kitchen was remodeled, included new kitchen, cabinets, sink, and faucet. He indicated that the old kitchen was falling apart, so he hired a contractor to change it and was unaware of the need for a permit. Our records show that there are 2 permits in process. The plumbing permit PLB GN 24070201 was recently submitted, and also structural permit BLD GN 24030737 was submitted and is awaiting corrections. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance, or a fine of $50 a day thereafter. I will allow the respondent to speak.
Sir, please state your name for the record.
George Massey.
Mr. Massey, are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 63 days or face a fine of $50 a day?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for your cooperation.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Page 10,
What's the address, please?
1329 Northwest 4th Avenue.
Our next case is on page 10, property address 1329 Northwest 4th Ave, owner Mario L. Gallon Perez, case number BE 23080321, notice posted at the property on 6/21/24, posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard, 7324.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2020-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits. This included a fence and gate installed without a permit. The case was opened 8/23/23. Inspection report mailed 8/29/23. Final notice 10/2/23. And special magistrate notice mailed 4/10/24, but also was mailed because of a change in ownership. It was resubmitted and mailed to the new owner 5/15/24. I visited the property to investigate a complaint of a fence being installed without a permit. No one was at home at the time, so I left a courtesy notice. I thereafter spoke with Nadine, the owner, who indicated that she was unaware that a permit was needed to install a fence. I subsequently spoke with her on several occasions, but she was unable to get the permitting done as an owner builder. She was also pregnant at the time and was very distraught about the matter, so I granted her some additional time to either remove the fence or obtain the permit. On March 14th of this year, I received a call from the owner indicating that she will be selling the property, and as a result, she will more than likely remove the fence before the closing. I explained to her that I would need to do an inspection once this is done. However, this apparently did not happen, and I thereafter received a call from the new owner, who is present, Mario Perez, who indicated that he will be resolving the violation himself. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 42 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Mario Perez.
Mr. Perez, you're in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 42 days or face a fine of $50 a day?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for your cooperation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Sir, are you here for a case? No. Oh, okay. Okay, Your Honor, at this time, this concludes all of our respondents. Moving on to page 1, Senior Inspector Alejandro Del Rio, property address 1316 Southeast 11th Court, owner BB Southport Holdings LLC, case number BE 24010153. Notice posted at the property on 6/12/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 7324.
Building Inspector Alejandro Del Rio presenting case as read. There are expired permits related to this property. City is requesting 42 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Senior Inspector Alessandro Boris, property address 2637 Okeechobee Lane, case number BE 23120177. Owner Yelena, bear with me, Gemelsian, something like that. Notice posted at a property on 6/27/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 7324.
Alexander Albores, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. The property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code 2020, Section 105.1, work without permit, including but not limited to interior alterations, including kitchen and 2 bathrooms, recess, ceiling lighting, new AC and ductwork, exterior lighting around the house under the overhang concrete wall adjacent to the boat dock. Case was opened on December 29, 2023. Inspection report mailed to the property owner January 17, 2024. Final notice mailed February 20, 2024. The city is requesting for the magistrate to find the violation exists and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. The city is also requesting for final order to be recorded.
Okay. Did you say 42 days?
63 days.
63 days, okay. All right. Okay, so ordered.
Inspector Wilson Quintero Jr., property address 3060 Northwest 17th Street, case number BE 24010014, owner Mungel Fam Revocable Trust, Harry Mungel Trust. Notice posted at the property on 6/21/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 7324.
Good morning, Inspector Wilson Quintero Jr. on behalf of the city. Case and address as read. This case was first inspected on January 11, 2024. The property in question was fire. It was a fire occurred at the property. In light of the fire, the ownership, I guess, boarded up the property. I monitored it for 60 days. After the 60 days, no permit had been applied for the board up. So inspection report was mailed out on April 1st, 2024. Final notice mailed out 5/2/2024, and is scheduled for the special magistrate on 6/3/2024. As of today, there still have been no permits applied for the following violation. 18-7B, there is a property that appears to have been boarded without a certificate. Requesting 42 days or $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Moving on to page 2, Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 1201 South Federal Highway, owner WGFTL Federal Highway LLC, case number BE 24030039. Notice posted at the property on 6/7/24, posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard, 7324.
Building Inspector Martinez representing the city, case and address as read. The required safety inspection report has not been submitted. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 3003 Terramore Street, owner Birch Square Association, Inc., case number BE 24020198. Notice posted at the property on 6/26/24, posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard, 7324.
Building Inspector Martinez representing the city, case and address as read. The report was submitted, but repairs are required. The city is asking for 180-day extensions and $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Moving on to page 3, Inspector Linda Holloway, property address 1312 Northwest 6th Street, case number BE 24040179, owner NWRD LLC. Notice posted at the property on 6/21/24, posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard, 7324.
Sorry. Inspector Linda Holloway, on behalf of the city, presenting case BE 24040179, property address 1312 Northwest 6th Street. The property was cited on April 25th, 2024, and the following violation was observed: 9-1D. Any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that has started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of, but not limited to, a fence installed without a permit. On April 25th, an inspection report was mailed to the owner on Broward County Property Appraiser's website. I personally have had no contact with the owner or the contractor. A pre-hearing, no permit has been applied for. A pre-hearing inspection on July 16th, 2024 shows that the violation remains as depicted on the photo. The city is requesting 35 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Inspector Andrew Gebbia, property address 240 Southwest 14th Ave, case number BE 24030137, owner Anastasia Beaverhausen. Notice posted at the property on 6/20/24, posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard, 7324.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under 9-1D, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to air conditioner unit changeout. This case was opened on 3/22/24. The inspection report was mailed on 3/22/24, and the final notice was mailed out on 04/26/24. Special magistrate notice was mailed out on 6/3/24. I arrived at the property. The air conditioning units are in the inside parking lot, so I walked through the inside parking lot and I searched for the AC unit for unit number 240, which is the unit that was the new changeout. I looked at the dates on the unit, took pictures of the dates on the unit when it was manufactured. Then, I judged the unit was a newly installed unit. I checked the records for permits and found that there were no permits on file for the work performed. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 5, property address 3020 North Federal Highway 13, owner Bain Properties Times Square LLC, case number BE 24010039. Notice posted at the property on 6/26/24, posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard on 7/3/24.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under 9-1D, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to interior renovations for a restaurant cafe. This case was opened on 1/9/24. The inspection report was mailed out on 1/10/24. Final notice was 4/30/24, and the special magistrate notice was mailed out on 6/4/24. I arrived at the property for a complaint of loud demolition and construction noise. When I arrived, I observed men working inside on the premises. Upon entry, I observed that demolition work was done, structural, electrical, plumbing, and mechanical work was in progress. I checked records, and I found that there were no permits on file for the work that was being performed at the time. I issued a stop work order. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 6, page 6 at the top, Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 450 Northeast 9th Street, owner 450 Northeast 9th, owner LLC, case number BE 2402-0070. Notice posted at the property on 7/2/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 7/3/24.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. I received the case from email regarding construction work without permit, parking restrict. The property was cited for work without permit under Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1. The case was opened in February 9, 2024. Inspection report was made on February 13, 2024. Final notice was mailed on April 15, 2024. Notice of hearing posted at the property on July 2, 2024. At this time, building permit is in review. We are asking the magistrate to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 6, still on page 6, property address 820 Northeast 5th Ave, owner 550 Northeast 9th, owner LLC, in care of Aimco Investment Company LLC, case number BE 2402-0073. Notice posted at the property on 7/2/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 7/3/24.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. I received the case from an email regarding construction work without permit, parking is restricted. The property was cited for work without permit under Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1. This case was opened in February 9, 2024. Inspection report was made on February 14, 2024. Final notice was mailed on April 15, 2024. Notice of hearing posted at the property on July 2, 2024. Building permit already applied, were submitted, and we are asking the magistrate to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
At the bottom of page 6, property address 850 Northeast 13th Street C, owner Transforma Realty LLC, case number BE 2403-0047. Notice posted at the property on 7/1/24, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 7/3/24.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. I received this case from email regarding expired permit for new roof. The property was cited for work for expired permit under Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.3.2.1. The case was opened on February 9, 2024. Inspection report was made on February 14, 2024. Final notice was mailed on April 15, 2024. Notice of hearing posted at the property on July 2, 2024. At this time, the plan is under review. We're asking the magistrate to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Inspector Preston Mark on page 8, property
you.
address 211 Northeast 16th Ave, owner Natasha Quist, case number BE 23110100. Notice posted at the property on 6/28/24, posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard, 7324.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to the installation of a new driveway and parking without permits. Case was opened 11/15/23. Inspection report mailed 12/1/23. Final notice mailed 3/8/24. Special magistrate notice mailed 5/10/24. We visited the property to investigate the complaint of work being done without permits, and during our inspection, we observed that the driveway and swale was replaced. I left a courtesy notice, and thereafter spoke with the owner on several occasions, Mr. Batiste, one of the owners, Mr. Batiste, regarding the permitting for this violation. At present, there is a pending permit, BLDGN 24060-316, which status is currently awaiting client reply. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 42 days to come in compliance and a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 10, property address 1413 North Andrews Ave, owner Kimberlite Management LLC, case number BE 23120156. Notice posted at the property on 6/21/24, posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard, 7324.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2020-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to the installation of a side entry door, an AC unit replacement, and the installation of a new water heater. The case was opened 8/21/23. Inspection report mailed 12/22/23. Final notice 2/28/24, and special magistrate notice mailed 5/8/24. I visited the property and was granted access by the tenant, Kimberly Flowers, to investigate the above-noted complaint. During our inspection, I observed that the left side of the home, there was a door cut out for an entry into a bedroom. There was also a unit, an AC unit that was replaced, that was brand new, and also a new water heater that was installed incorrectly at the back of the home. I have had several conversations with the property manager, Mr. Liam, who was very helpful in getting the violations addressed by making sure that contractors were pulling the required permits. Our records show that the door permit is complete, but the plumbing and mechanical permits are still pending. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 42 days to come in compliance or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 1604 Southwest 5th Street, owner Carmen L. Martinez, case number BE 23110038. Notice posted at the property on 6/20/24, posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard, 7324.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2020-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to the installation or replacement of 2 AC units. The case was opened 11/6/23. Inspection report mailed 11/15/23. Final notice made 3/8/24. Special magistrate notice mailed 5/21/24. I visited the property to investigate the possibility of a work without permit, but during my inspection, I found that there were 2 AC condenser units at the front of the home that was replaced. At the time, our record showed no permit pulled for replacing these units. We left the courtesy notice and thereafter spoke with the owner owner's daughter, Jessica, who indicated that she has hired a contractor to replace the units, but they did not pull the correct permit. Subsequently, the applications were submitted, MECGN 240-30120, which was submitted, but is still pending corrections. This was submitted on 3/14/24. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 42 days to come in compliance or fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 11, property address 2060 Northeast 62nd Court, case number BE 23120094, owner Elizabeth A. and Ted J. Zeal. Notice posted at the property on 5/20/24, posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 7/3/24.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2020-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to the installation of an awning, front patio awning, the fish pond pump, and aluminum fence. The case is opened 10/29/23. Inspection report mailed 11/8/23. Final notice mailed 12/15/23, and special magistrate notice mailed 5/29/24. I visited the property to investigate a complaint that came in from a neighbor. During our inspection, I observed that the patio awning, a fish pond with a pump, and a black aluminum gate was installed at the front of the property. Upon further review of the records, it showed that there were no permits issued for this work. I thereafter spoke with the owner, Elizabeth Zell, who indicated that she has contacted the roofing company on several occasions to pull this permit, but they never did. She provided me with a contract showing that the permits were required to complete this work. However, she has been having a very difficult time having the company get this matter resolved. She also has been in contact with, in communication with the Assistant Building Official, Joe Pasquarello, regarding this matter. We also reviewed the fence permit, which shows that permit number BLDGN 240-599, which was submitted as an owner-builder permit for the fence, is currently pending corrections. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Okay, our next case is on page 12, property address 2221 Northeast 19th Street, case number BE 23120150, owner Samson Reinhardt. Notice posted at the property on 6/27/24, posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 7/3/24.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited under violation Florida Building Code 2020-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to the installation of rooftop railings and spiral staircase at the rear of the property. The case was opened 12/21/23. Inspection report mailed 12/21/23. Final notice mailed 2/12/24. Special magistrate notice mailed 5/28/24. I visited this property to investigate a complaint, and based on my research, I noticed that this was a brand-new building which was completed earlier last year. I met with the owner, Jessica, and her husband, Sam, who gave me access to inspect the property. They informed me that they were trying diligently to get the contractor to finish this work, but their efforts have been to no avail. During my inspection, I observed that there were rooftop railings and a spiral staircase being built, but it was incomplete. I have also had several discussions with representative of the owners, Betsy Rausch, ROUCH Realtor, who assisted the owners in getting the builder to address this issue. Our records currently show that the permits BLD GN 240-70011 is in review for the installation of the stairs, spiral stairs and railing. Permit number BLD RMIS 230-80011 is now in issue status for the rooftop railings. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is also on page 12, property address 2225 Northeast 19th Street, case number BE 2312-0151, owner Italia Tucci Cash. Notice posted at the property on 6/27/24, posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 7/3/24.
President Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2020-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: rooftop structure and access via a spiral staircase. This case was opened 12/21/23. Inspection report mailed 12/21/23. Final notice mailed 2/12/24. Special magistrate mailed a notice mailed 5/28/24. I visited this property to investigate the complaint as noted. Based on my research, the building is a new build which was completed earlier last year. I spoke with the owner's relative, Mr. Keith Ruby, and an agent of the owner, Tom Elias Solomon, who informed me that they have been trying they've been trying to have the contractor finish this work, but their efforts have been unsuccessful. Through my inspection, I observed that the spiral staircase that was built at the back of the home and leading to a rooftop was incomplete. I also had several discussions with the realtor, Betsy, who assisted with getting the builder to address this issue. Our records currently show that permit BLDGN 240-60753 is pending, and also permit number BLD RMIS 230-80012 is now in issued status for the spiral stairs. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 13, property address 2587 Southwest 30th Ave, case number BE 231-00060, owner Shokana Katabana. Notice posted at the property on 5/17/24, posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 7/3/24.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2020-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: interior wall replacement, approximately 4 feet high throughout the home, and the installation of a new side entry door. The case was opened 12/21/23. Inspection report mailed 12/21/23. Final notice mailed 2/12/24, and special magistrate notice mailed 5/28/24. I visited this property to investigate a complaint for interior work without a permit. During my inspection, I observed that most of the drywall in the home, approximately 4 feet high, was removed. Given that no one was at home, I left a courtesy notice. Our records show that there was no permit pulled for this work. I thereafter spoke with the owner, Mr. Katabana, who came to our office and indicated that he currently lives in Maryland and recently purchased the home, which sustained damage from the flood that the city experienced in April 2023. To mitigate the damage, he hired some workers to clean the home and replace the drywall, but was unaware that he needed permits. We explained the violation issue and provided him with the required documents to submit the permit. On 12/12/23, we again visited the property and observed that workers were on the premises doing block work and installing a new door. They did not provide me access, but upon contacting the owner, he stated that they were in the process of getting the permits. But again, I explained to him that he needed to stop work until he has all permits issued for any work that is required on this property. At this point, we posted a stop work order and requested that the workers leave the premises. Our records currently show that permit number BLDGN 240500705 is currently in review. This is for the drywall replacement and kitchen cabinets replacement, and also BLDGN 240500344, which is for the opening of a side entry door, is currently in review pending corrections. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 16 at the bottom, property address 3110 Houston Street, owner Level 7 Real Estate LLC, case number BE 23070269. This case was first heard on 3/21/24 to comply by 5/23/24. One section complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $1,200.
So ordered.
Your Honor, I'm going to have to come back to the case on page 17. The inspector is coming back because we have a respondent here. So moving on to page 18, property address 744 Northwest 5th Ave. Owner Thrive Development Group LLC, case number BE 23010196. This case was first heard on 6/15/23 to comply by 7/27/23. One section complied at $100. Total accrued fines $15,400. The city is requesting to reduce to administrative cost of $1,275.
So ordered.
Page 19 at the bottom, property address 2355 Northeast 26th Street, case number BE 23010074. Owner BRC Land Trust, Robert Shamir, trustee, and all others. This case was first heard on 5/18/23 to comply by 11/14/23. One section complied at $100. Total accrued fines $22,400. City is requesting to reduce to administrative costs of $1,275.
So ordered.
Page 21, case number BE 21070127 has been withdrawn. Page 22, property address 5601 North Powerline Road, owner PBC Investors 1 LLC, care of KEI Properties Ground, Florida S South, maybe. Case number BE 23070131. This case was first heard on 1/18/24 to comply by 2/29/24. One section not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $13,900, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
And we're going to give the inspector and the respondent about 5 minutes, and we're going to call it a day.
Okay.
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Of course.
Thank you. Our next case is on page 17 at the top. Property address 640 Southwest 30th Ave. Owner 640 South White Trust, Jacqueline Hyatt, trustee. Case number BE 240200128. This case was first heard on 4/18/24 to comply by 5/16/24. Two sections not complied at $500. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $62,000, which continues to accrue.
Building Inspector Leo Martinez representing the city. Case and address as read. This case is not in compliance. City is requesting the full amount to be imposed. I let the representative to speak.
Good afternoon. My name is Jacqueline Hyatt, and I have a problem with this proceeding today because I did not invite him onto the property. This is not a home that he mentioned. I don't even understand what an assisted living is. I have family members. I take care of my mother, and my mother just passed in that house. He came onto the property on the outside of the property with another person following him, and he came to me, he goes, "Hi, I received a call from this property. Can I come in?"
Ma'am, I hate to interrupt you, but we're not rehearing this case. The violation's already been found. This is to discuss whether there's any progress.
I apologize. I came in person and I saw him, and then he said to me, "Oh, why don't you just call me?" And I said to him, "I was calling you several times," and I saw his boss, and his boss said, "Would you let us in?" So that lets you know they have not been onto this property. He took a camera, he stood outside through the gate, and he took pictures. And I think that that's not fair, and he was never onto the property. He never came onto this property ever. I noticed nothing is being recorded, and I would like to make sure I want to have it recorded.
Well, I believe it is being.
It is? Okay.
The problem here is that this was first heard in April.
I came. I was here.
Yes, you came late like you did this time, and it was already heard.
Well, it wasn't called when I came this time. It just was called because I didn't have my ID. He wasn't here.
He was not here because the hearings were for 9 a.m.
I did not.
He was dismissed because all the respondents had been heard, so he had to come back.
Okay.
You were late last time, you were late this time.
Well,
Ma'am, I'm still talking.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Still talking. Good.
Okay, go ahead.
The violation's already been found. The only issue here today before the special magistrate is any progress that has been made to comply with the carport being enclosed without permits or the change of use.
How could you? I want to answer that. Now, are you the attorney?
I'm going to tell you
Okay.
that you are not going to interrupt someone else when they are talking. I will stay later to accommodate you, but I will not accommodate rudeness, okay?
I apologize for being rude, but I will be honest with you. This is a very rude proceeding.
You need to stop there. You need
Okay.
to stop there.
Okay.
Now, the city attorney was not finished yet, so go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. The only issues are where you're at in terms of applying for a permit for the carport that was enclosed without permits, and where you're at in terms of making progress to comply with the change of use.
Okay. I'm going to answer you, and I know that I am very on fire about this because I met this man outside the gate. And I know you don't want to hear that. I just want to share. I know you want to cut me off. You want me to answer you. But if someone takes a picture outside of a gate, never been on the property, and going to tell me I need to have a legal living facility, I don't even have older people that's not in my family that lives there. The property was, he posted the property afterwards. That's why I was late. I don't live there. I'm in school. My mom, let me just finish. I want to have it on record. My mom died. I told him my mom is there, and my father, they turned 80-something years old. We found this paper on her mattress the day of his posting, when the ambulance was taking him out. I didn't get it. The officer called me today and said, I have certain things, and I came today, and I can bring her here because she's in my car doing some work. And she's off today because she said, this is terrible. I let her read the whole thing. I never seen his file. I have been calling him. He doesn't return my calls. I'm going to just share this with you. He was very angry when he left because I wouldn't let him onto the property. So now you have fines running. Yes, I was late today because, like I said, I just received a notice. But he's never been on that property. And yes, I did try to pull a permit. I will answer you. I tried to pull a permit. They asked for drawings. This is very new for me. The property, when we had it was already there. So I have no problem pulling the permit for what was enclosed and what is not there. I'm working on that now with a person by a company called Urban, and they are doing the drawings. That's what I was communicating with him. So I will make sure that I upload that to the portal. All this is very new for me. I just lost my mom the day of his posting. I did not even receive this paper until an hour ago. I came here, I closed down my office. Yes, I'm on fire. Yes, I'm hurting, and I feel very broken. This is a system, and he has a high fine for facility living that he's never even been inside this property, ever. I never invited him in, and I have it on recording because my house has cameras. He asked me, can he come onto the property? I told him no. He's outside of a gate. That property is fully gated, and he's taking pictures.
Your Honor,
that's not good.
The respondent has said this several times.
Yeah.
Again,
Well, I'm going to share
to
because
impose
apparently I was
fines
told to
only.
leave because I was late. I'm here, and I want to have it on record because I do feel that that fine is injustice.
Okay, all right.
Your-
Now, go ahead.
May I just clarify something, Your Honor? She's correct. I've never been inside the property. That's why we have the fire department and the police department that has been inside the property declaring here at the hearing that she wasn't here. And the only picture that I took from the exterior was the job that I look at it, of the garage being enclosed with fresh stucco and everything. That's what I just want to add to this that already we discussed it.
And I thank you for your honesty. Thank
I've
you.
always been honest.
And I appreciate that.
All right. What I'm going to suggest to you is that
I'm asking for time, please, because I've never been through this process. And I just got this paper an hour ago.
Okay, how much time do you think you need?
They're giving me different prices. I don't know this process. When he came, he was very nice about it, and I told him there's stucco on the building, and I don't understand why there's stucco. So he said to me, okay, and I've been calling. I'm doing the best I can. I just lost my mom. I just got the paper an hour ago, and I closed up my whole legal system just to stand in here today with you.
Okay.
Your Honor, they provide, they open a permit application with insufficient information, okay? And this been long ago. She never had contact with me. I never received a call from her, okay? Any call that I receive, I respond. I have nothing, no intention. This is something about a violation that it was found, okay? I just want to make that clear. And the permit application was submitted and it stayed the same way as today because I checked it out yesterday afternoon. So,
like I said, I'm getting prices, and I have a caller ID, so maybe he doesn't know that that's me, but it was me that's calling him from my office. And my cell phone number, if he wants to check his phone.
when do you call?
I called you several times, but that's okay. I'm not angry with you. It's not even, but I did. I give you my number. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with you, so I don't see why I would not call you. I don't know the process. All I know is I want to help, and I don't have a problem with it. I'm the one that pointed out the stucco to him. We communicated, so it's not that he'd never been on this property. I don't even know what an ALF. Half of my family is in their 90s and their 80s, and I want to be responsible to bury them because they were very good to me. They were my guardians in life.
All right, I'm going to give you 28 days to bring the property into compliance. That's the last extension you'll get, and I'll suspend the fines during that time.
Thank you, and I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
The last, oh, yes, sorry. Oh, yeah. Your Honor, we would like to have all the cases that are listed on page 24 into the record as closed or withdrawn.
Thank you.
Thank you. This concludes our July 18, 2024 special magistrate hearing for the Building Division.